Hey, this the Bay Moscato got a freaky. Hey, you got me in the trance. You take off your pants. Pop on the handstand. You got me swaying through that for your back down. The way you move it, you got me in a trance. DJ turn me up, ladies get so jam. This is Moscato, you don't need to pay. And I'ma throw this money while we do it with no hands. Girl, drop it to the floor. I love the way that feeling goes. All I wanna do is sit back and watch you move and always see the bonus cash. She said, look my, no hands. She said, look my, no hands and no darling. I don't dance and I'm with Roscoe, I'm with Waka. I think I deserve a chance. I'm a bad mom. Going at some motherfuckers, a young handsome motherfucker. I sling that wood, I just nunchuck. Tell me who you with and what's your name. And you not here, boo, I'm Wale. And that DC, I rap all day. My eyes red cause of all that hate. Don't blow my high, let me shine. Drum on the beat, let me take my time. One beat, we can check it outside. Fuck what, bro, these ain't minders. You out your mind, you out your league. I sweat no, sweat out weeds. Wear out tracks, let me do my thing. I got 16 for this Roscoe thing, but I'm almost done, let me get back to it. Whole lot of loud in the low backwood. Whole lot of money, big tip I would. I put on the train, little engine could. Wale. The way you move it, got me in a trance. DJ tell me good, ladies get so jam. This is Moscato, you don't need to pay. And I'ma throw this money while we do it with no hands. Girl, drop it to the floor. I love the way that feeling goes. All I wanna do is sit back and watch you move and always see the bonus cash. R-O-S-C-O, we Mr. Shawty, put it on me. Please, I be going ham. Shorty upgrade from Bologna. Please, them niggas tipping good, girl, but I can make it fly. Cause I walk around with pockets that are bigger than my butts. Well, ring, go away. That's what I'm ahead to say. My pocket's stuck on overload. My rain never evaporates. No need to elaborate. Most of these ducks exaggerate. But I'ma get money every day. Stuck next might get a chance after me. Jump on like I'm coming off a free throws. Get the head of the game, no Chico. Lambo Roscoe, no street code. And your booty got me lost like Nemo. Go on and do your dance. Right now. And I'ma throw this money while you do it with no hands. Go.
What's up, y'all? Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. Please hit that like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications to get all of my content, all of my videos. Salute to the whole entire Lions Den basketball, as well as boxing community. And salute to all of the people that rock with me. I'm not going to stay on here too long. Of course, talking about these two subjects, you never know where it will take us. But according to reports, and I do want to give a shout out first and foremost to the Basketball Network. But according to reports, this Jimmy Butler saga has not gotten any better. Angela Bell, what's up with it, man? I see you in the building, man. Hope you're doing all right. This Jimmy Butler saga has not gotten any better. And as a matter of fact, according to reports, the Miami Heat have said that Jimmy Butler has reignited the drama and in the locker room and has made it a toxic place. You know what I'm saying? I think it's bullshit. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. What they're trying to do right now, especially Pat Riley, um, and Mick Aronson, they're trying to make Jimmy Butler as public enemy number one. Now, like reputation does play a factor in the trade value, um, and also, of course, him not being healthy or whatnot, and having a that reputation that he can't stay on the court and all that other stuff. That plays a factor too. But I'm not going to sit here and play into this, this media psychological stuff that they try to do to make it seem as if Jimmy Butler is the big problem, because we all know that the drama, it stems from Pat Riley and the history, of what Pat Riley had did with Jimmy Butler or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Had Jimmy Butler had a reputation for going in the corner and pouting because he doesn't get what he wants and all this other stuff, yes, somewhat. Uh, but I'm not going to sit here and make it seem as if though Jimmy Butler is in the wrong. Um, I also read a comment too that was very interesting. Somebody has said that Jimmy Butler is washed. Jimmy Butler is not washed. Okay, you're talking about a guy, um, before this season, of course, that was, he was pretty much a 20 point scorer, somewhere around the lines of about 21, 22 points. Okay, um, just to put some things in its proper context and proper perspective. Uh, let's take it let's take it back just a couple of seasons ago. Now, in 20, I think this was in 2019. Now he did only play 58 games, but he was at 19.9 points per game. The next season he played in what was it? I think that was. Hold on, let me make sure that I got this right. 2019, 2020. Okay, yeah, 2019, 2020. He was at 19.9 points per game. He only played 58 games. Then the next season he played 52 games. He was at 21.5. Then he was at 57 games where he averaged 21.4 points. And then he played 64 games. He averaged 22.9 points per game. And just last season, he did play 60 games and he averaged 20.8 points per game. That's not washed up, especially when you consider his numbers in comparison from before he had got to Chicago. Now, I mean, not Chicago, from Miami. Now, when he came over from Minnesota, of course, that was, I think he ended up playing like 55 games. He was at 18.2 points per game. Okay. Uh, then, of course, he had played like 59 games. He played 59 games in Philly. He averaged 20.2 points per game. But you got to realize that it was during the middle of the season when he went to Minnesota. So we'll throw in that stat. But in those 10 games in which he did play with Minnesota, he was at 21.3 points per game. Okay. The season before that, where he played 76 games, and this was in Chicago. Okay. In his Chicago days, he was getting above 70 games. Okay. This is when before all the injuries and all that other stuff. He was at 76 games. Then he averaged 23.9 points per game. That's the highest that he's ever averaged, was close to 24. Season before that, he was at 67 games. He averaged 20.9 points per game. And then season before that, he was at 65 games. I think, that was his breakout season. Um, because that was his third season in Chicago. He was at 65 games. He averaged 20 points, flat 20 points per game. You know, before that, he was at 67 games and 82 games. He had only averaged 13.1 points per game and 8.6 points per game. He was more noted as a defender his first couple of seasons in Chicago. The reason why I mention all of this though is because we do have to put into context that Jimmy was playing hurt a lot of those seasons, we have to realize that he was playing hurt during the finals. He has a reputation for playing hurt. Okay, that's one thing that you got to give him. Now, people are gonna say, okay, well, yeah, Joel Embiid, he played hurt too. The only difference is that Jimmy Butler didn't sit there crying and complaining about it. He was actually able to get well over 60 games in some instances and 50 games in some instances. And then also you have to understand that he was more successful than guys like Joel Embiid or Zion Williamson and guys like that are injury prone. I mean, Jimmy Butler kind of reminded me of Kawhi Leonard in the sense that when Kawhi Leonard, even though that he was injured a lot and injury prone and low managing and all that other stuff, he was still successful. The only difference is that Jimmy Butler didn't, unfortunately, he came up short. He wasn't able to get the titles. He wasn't able to get the Larry O'Brien, but that still doesn't take away the fact of what he did for the Heat organization. Got him to some conference finals, and on top of that, got him to the finals too as well. But I'm not going to sit up here and put all of that on Jimmy Butler for the simple fact that Jimmy Butler, his time in Miami has just ran its course. And on top of that, Pat Riley never made any accommodations to make anything better. Please hit the like when you come in here. Double tap the screen, hit the like. So we can't sit up here and feed into the media BS saying that Jimmy Butler is the big problem. He's not the big problem, and of course it's gonna seem that way because of his reputation. Now I will say this: Jimmy Butler didn't make it better, because of that reputation that he did have in the past in terms of what went on in places like Minnesota and places like Philly. With Philly, I mean, look at Philly. Okay, let's just take Philly for instance. Right now, Philly is as much as I love my franchise and stuff, and I love this team. Our front office has not been on the same page for years. Okay, and then you got a guy that in Joel Embiid that he did play with. I mean, you have to understand that maybe he saw some things that James Harden saw, that Ben Simmons saw, that Doc Rivers saw in Joel Embiid, and that everybody else is seeing, including Maxey right now. Then we talk about Minnesota. Minnesota, man, I think Minnesota. He got a bad rap in Minnesota. I know that he was trying to come there and toughen those guys up and everything, but he needed to be around some guys that at least had some grit and some fight in them and stuff. And at that time, guys like Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns, they just didn't get it in their young careers. Okay, so I think he got a bad rap in there. Tom Thibodeau knew what Jimmy Butler was about. That's why he stuck with him for so long. And a lot of people do blame Tom Thibodeau for what Jimmy Butler is going through right now in terms of his injuries and stuff like that. Them saying that he ran Jimmy Butler to the ground and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. The thing that I'm not going to sit up here and do with Jimmy Butler is I'm not going to sit up here and make it seem that Jimmy Butler is public enemy number one. And I'm certainly not going to say that Jimmy Butler is washed. He's not washed by any means. If he goes to another team right now, they'll be happy to have Jimmy Butler. Just like I'm hearing all this stuff about Dallas wanting Joel Embiid. You think Dallas wouldn't want Jimmy Butler? Let's be real. So, I think that the media is full of shit. I think that the Miami Heat is full of shit. I think that Pat Riley is full of shit. Great coach over time. Um, he's done the thing in the front office and stuff, but he's still full of shit. And they're trying to make it. I believe that Pat Riley is doing everything that he can to make it hard for Jimmy Butler. maybe put him in a place where in a situation where he really doesn't want to be. So that's what I believe is truly going to take place in this situation. Um, Now, I've talked about that situation. Let me talk about Jayden Daniels real quick. Now, earlier in another live, I had posed a question. You said I think Green from Houston and Kaminga from Golden State will be in Miami. Oh no! First off, Jalen Green, Angelo Bell, he just signed it. He signed a max deal, so they're not getting rid of Jalen Green. And Jonathan Kaminga, I have to take a look at Jonathan Kaminga's contract, but I believe that the Golden State is gonna hold on to Jonathan Kaminga because you got to understand what's going on with Steph Curry. Steph Curry just got a couple more seasons left, even though he's a Warrior for life. But you got to remember that Sagoon for Houston and Jalen Green, they signed their deals over the off season, so they're not getting rid of Jalen Green. They're definitely not doing that. And Jalen Green is, in my eyes, he's an all-star this year. And they're they're second in the West. They wouldn't make a move like that. That would be that would be a terrible move. And I don't think Pat Riley wants to do that either. He don't want to put Jimmy Butler in a great situation. Houston, say what you want, they are a contender. Okay, they are a contender. If they get to, it depends on how they look in the playoffs too. And I don't think that uh, Houston's gonna look bad. But I still got sorry y'all. I still got OKC coming out of the West. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk to y'all about that. Now I am going to talk about uh, Jayden Daniels. Now Jayden Daniels is having a spectacular season as a rookie. And I did pose a question earlier in the live that I did. I basically was asking everybody, should Jayden Daniels be considered for an MVP? Because if you look at the numbers, he's actually, as a rookie, he's having an MVP season in comparison to some of the guys that they've mentioned that have had great seasons as a rookie, and some of these guys that are MVP candidates, right? Um, I believe that Jayden Daniels is an MVP candidate. Now, who would you replace on that list? Because I had Saquon Barkley as my number one MVP. Then on there, I put Lamar Jackson, I put Josh Allen, and I put Derrick Henry. Okay. One person had mentioned, remove Derrick Henry and put Jayden Daniels on there. Um, let me say this. Let me say this. We're gonna do a numbers comparison, right? Okay, Jayden Daniels, this season, okay, his rookie season, No, you know what? I'm gonna do Jayden Daniels last, okay? But let's look at a guy like C.J. Stroud. Now I know he wasn't an MVP candidate, but C.J. Stroud did have a spectacular rookie season, okay? And he was one of the ones that was in there, this year. C.J. Stroud threw for over 3,000 yards. He threw at 3,727 yards. He threw 20 touchdowns, and he had 12 interceptions. His QBR was only 87. Okay, not bad, right? Let's look at who was this? He oh yeah, but to win Rookie of the Year and to win MVP in the same season, that would be phenomenal. Let's look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen's rookie year, he threw for 2,000 yards, 2,074 yards. You remember that he had a horrendous rookie season. He threw 10 touchdowns and he threw 12 interceptions. QBR of only 67.9. Lamar Jackson. Now his rookie year, he only threw for 1,000 yards, threw 6 touchdowns and threw 3 interceptions. QBR of 84.5. Okay, and then you got who was it? I think there was okay. Now let's look at Jayden Daniels, right? Jayden Daniels he's thrown for 3,568 yards. He's got 25 touchdowns and only 9 interceptions. His QBR is 100.1. Y'all hear what I'm saying? So he had a better rookie season pretty much than C.J. Stroud. He had a better rookie season than Lamar Jackson and is having a more impressive season than Lamar Jackson. And he's having a better season than Josh Allen. This is my thing right here. Jayden Daniels is the MVP because, well, I'm not going to say he should be an MVP candidate because he has lifted this franchise along with the help of Dan Quinn and people in the front office. He has lifted this franchise and done something that has not been done since 1991, 33 years. And he's about to do the unthinkable, going to the Super Bowl and possibly winning it as a rookie. Okay? Now, true enough, I know they take into account the regular season, stuff like that. But what he's done in the postseason, man, has also been great too. And I just think that he deserves to be put in that category in terms of the MVP and stuff. One of the reasons why I got Saquon as the MVP that I keep reiterating is the fact that Saquon, if you take his value of running, you take it off of Philly. Philly is not going anywhere. Would I put to you like this? Would the Commanders go anywhere without Jayden Daniels? So let's just put that in its proper perspective. So he does deserve an MVP. You say I would take out Lamar Jackson and put Jayden Daniels. Oh wow. Oh man. Yeah, and I've heard that. I've heard that too. You know, some people have said Derrick Henry, and some people have said Lamar Jackson. You know, so because I look at it like Derrick Henry has made life easy for Lamar Jackson. So either way, I'm fine with it. And Lamar Jackson, he's actually having what's it called? Jayden Daniels is actually having he's having somewhat of a better season than Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson got him on the yardage and stuff. But that very next season, though, when Lamar, it took Lamar a minute to get going, man. It took him just a season. And you know that, of course, he still that season where he had that breakout season. Jayden Daniels still threw for more yardage. He threw at 3,568. Lamar was at 3,127 his second season, and then that he was at 36 touchdowns and only threw 6 interceptions. I mean, neither one of them is not a bad ratio, especially when you consider 25 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. I'm only digging deep into these numbers, man, because I had to put context to it why I felt like Jayden Daniels should get an MVP mention in a way, and not just the numbers either. It's just his impact that he's had on the field. Now I'm gonna look and see next year what's gonna possibly take place with Jayden Daniels, and if he's gonna hit that slump. But I'm surprised you said that, Angelo Bell. I'm surprised you said that. Check this out too. I wanted to bring this up too. Even with Jalen Hurts, right? He had a way better rookie season than Jalen Hurts. Okay, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts didn't even get 2,000 yards. Jalen Hurts only had 1,000 yards. He only threw 6 touchdowns and had 4 interceptions, and had a 77.6 QBR ratio. He's blowing them out of the water right now as we speak. In terms of his season, but much less the rookie season. But I like Jalen Hurts. It took him a minute to get going, because that very next season he got better, and then eventually he was able to go to the Super Bowl and stuff. But what I'm saying is, man, my whole point is that Jayden Daniels, his rookie season is already better than some of the veterans. Like to be able to eclipse almost 4,000 yards, nearly 4,000 yards in your rookie season. To me, that's phenomenal. Because, like I said, C.J. Stroud damn near threw for 4,000 yards his first season. Only problem with C.J. Stroud is that he had the interceptions, and then his touchdown to interception ratio wasn't that good. And QBR was at 87, but Jayden Daniels was at 100. So let's just make that make sense. Guys, I got to get up out of here. Make sure y'all hit that like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications so that you're able to get all of my content, all of my videos. Shouts out to the whole entire Lions Den basketball boxing community, and salute to all the people that rock with me. I'll get at y'all later.